All right, welcome back to the Spook House. Hope you're all doing well out there. Patrick, this episode has been 6 years in the making, my friend,
This has been a very long time in the making.
because the last time you and I recorded together was at your tattoo shop for your old podcast, The Idiot
Yes.
Review,
Yeah, it was.
That
You
was
were
in,
still on.
2019.
Yeah, it was still the original Spook House cast at the time.
Yeah, when Jason was on it. Yeah.
How long ago it was, and we just talked about you guys. That's all we did. I was super impressed because you were much more professional than we were.
Oh, I'm like I was saying before we started recording. 6 years on, I'm still winging it constantly.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, and you're still doing it though.
still doing it.
We've talked about it, but we haven't.
Yeah, but it's good to have you back, man.
Absolutely, I'm excited. This is fun.
Yeah. So for all the people, see, starting with the throat clearing already.
There we go. Perfect.
All the people, all the people out there that don't know you, Patrick is a kick-ass tattoo artist, big movie fan, big toy collector, sneakerhead,
There you go. Yep.
handsome devil.
Well.
Kind of does it all. He's a jack of all trades.
A little bit of everything, but not, not good at anything. Just okay at everything.
That's how I like to be, just kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
I always shoot for B-, no matter what I do.
It's passing. C is fine with me,
Yeah.
honestly.
So we both caught an early screening of Bring Her Back at our local Alamo Draft House. Patrick's also in Raleigh, by the way.
Yep.
Maybe one day we will record in your sick pinball room.
That would be nice.
How many
Not as-
how many pinball machines do you have?
Just a couple, but I have a lot of arcades too.
Oh, that's right. You have like
Yeah.
a ton of arcade games.
Yeah.
So do you have like a whole ass room just packed full of arcade stuff?
Yeah. So when me and my wife bought the house, we decided to convert this. It was an office because it didn't have a closet, so we turned that into a arcade room, I guess.
Nice.
Kind of like built the floors up on the side, and the contractor was like, "This isn't gonna help the value of the house." And my wife said, "Well, I'm gonna die in this house." She didn't say when, so that scares me. But
Oh, nice.
yeah, so we're not worried about that. We were just like, we like it, and that's all that matters.
Okay. You guys don't have a swimming pool in the backyard, do you? She's not
No.
going to do any rituals back there?
Thank God, no. We have one. The neighbor has one, and there's a public one, which would be even better for that. I think
Nice.
probably be the best place. Get some eyes on it.
Yeah. So, yeah, Patrick and I saw an early screening of Bring Her Back, the latest from the Philippou Brothers, directors of Talk to Me. Now, have you still not seen Talk to Me?
Still having my wife trying to get me to watch it this week. So
Oh, man.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
which
good.
everybody tells me is better, and that's a very
That's a debate. I think story-wise, Bring Her Back is the stronger movie, and it has the strongest acting performances. However, I think Talk to Me, there's like it's a little more exciting at times.
right.
But yeah, you got to watch that, man. It's great.
Definitely going to. I think the trailer turned me off because it seemed like a bunch of kids, and I thought the acting wouldn't be as good.
That's what I thought originally. Like when I saw all this praise about it, I was like, how good can this movie be? It's
Yeah.
about a hand that possesses people. I was like, it can only be so good.
Yeah.
But their directing style is like just so stylish and
Yeah.
unique. And even with like Bring Her Back, pretty much every scene of the movie, there's something in every scene where I can appreciate, whether it's a camera angle or movement or a transition. Yeah, they just have a unique style.
Well, I was surprised since I'd never seen their previous movies because they kind of did the little opening before the movie, introducing themselves and telling us about the movie.
Yeah.
They're goofy. goofy
Yeah, they're
fuckers. I don't know if you
total.
swear on here, but like they're
Oh yeah,
goofy, and like was not expected in what followed that after them introducing themselves.
yeah, they're total golden retrievers
Yeah,
in the best way. They're just like, yeah, I'm Danny, I'm Michael.
yeah. They
Just here
seem
to
so.
here to have a good time. Hope you enjoy a movie.
They seem just like pleasant. Like I wouldn't mind being around them, and then.
Yeah,
But if this is what's going through their head all the time, maybe I would.
yeah. Well, maybe it's because they get to channel all those fucked up thoughts and feelings into a healthy outlet.
That's yeah. Good point.
Yeah. You know what? Let's start at the very beginning. We're not going to do this like in a linear style, like scene by scene, but
Right. This is spoiler.
um,
You already did a spoiler-free little.
actually, no, I didn't. I didn't
Nice.
get around to it. After
Okay.
Fear Fest, I was like kind of sick for a few days, and I've been like trying to catch up. I just put out the Fear Fest recap video, and I'm editing some other stuff, so I haven't put out my thoughts on it yet.
All right.
But full spoilers ahead.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But yeah, the start of the movie, we get the home video footage. And you know what? On rewatch, I caught that it had like this like Russian text on it. It
Yeah.
said like .net, like some
Yeah, like
Russian,
down in the corner or whatever.
yeah, like Russian
Yeah.
website .net. So yeah, apparently these videotapes were like just ripped from what I'm assuming is something like rotten.com back in the day, or
Right.
Live Leak or some shit of like showing
They
you
look
how
that
to,
way.
yeah, showing you how to do this demonic possession.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. At any point, did you want more backstory? Like, where did these tapes come from? Who is this guy in the video? You
I
know,
asked myself after the movie if
mhm.
maybe I would have cared more. Also, since we're saying spoilers and stuff, synopsis is, their dad dies and they move in with what is it, foster mom, basically.
Yes.
I was like,
Laura.
do I even care about like their moms, why they ended up in this situation to begin with? Because I mean, a lot of it's about the main kid's troubled past as well. But I mean,
Right.
after the movie, I was like, I don't think it needed any of that to make it. I think it might have been too much. Like they kind of streamlined through what was important. I think we got a better movie because of it.
Yeah, I'm okay with some questions being unanswered, a little ambiguity.
I prefer it actually.
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't even think of that. Obviously their mom died at some point too.
And two different moms, I think.
Right. Yeah, two different moms.
So is there a reason they both died? Is it just coincidence? But not important at the same time.
How did the dad die?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the
Exactly.
shower with like, so I don't know if you remember this, but at one point we're really just jumping all over the place here.
Yeah.
But at one point, Laura says something to Andy to the effect of like, "Oh, and do you think I killed your father too?" And I was
Yeah.
like,
Did she?
did she? Because she's a social worker.
Mm-hmm.
So if she is fielding every girl that comes through their system that's blind, I'm assuming that's what she was looking for.
She's scoping them out.
Yeah, maybe she did poison the dad or however he died.
Yeah. There's a good chance. Never even thought of that because she was, and we'll get to it, but I mean, poisoning the kid too. I mean, Andy.
Yeah, poisoning his creatine.
Yeah. Which I didn't even realize at first.
Yeah. When that other lady was coming over to the house, she starts like dumping his creatine down the drain. I'm assuming that's where she was sneaking in
Yeah.
whatever drug into his creatine.
Yep. And that's where I was reading about it after the movie and somebody pointed that out and I was like, completely missed that. I mean, her dumping it out, but I didn't put together that was his creatine and Also answered my question of how she was doing some of the things she was doing while he was sleeping. If she was drugging him.
Yeah, pouring piss on him.
Yeah. Using
Dude,
his eyes to open his phone.
Sally Hawkins is a fucking menace in this movie.
She was awesome. She was awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
that being said, I don't usually like kid actors aren't usually good, and I know Andy wasn't like a child, but he killed it. Like he had you rooting for him the whole time.
yeah,
Like,
the entire cast of the movie is great.
yeah.
And forgive me for not knowing her name off the top of my head, but the little girl in the movie, the blind girl, apparently this was like her first movie ever. She was great.
Yeah, insane. Like she seemed like she'd been acting her whole life.
Going back to Sally Hawkins, like I hated her character so much in a lot of ways. But that's when you know that somebody turned in a great performance when they can elicit that kind of emotion.
Oh
So I
yeah.
was like, oh my God, this fucking lady.
She was good
worst.
at making you so good at making you hate her, and that makes me appreciate a character and not hate them by the end of it.
Yeah. Even then, towards the end of the movie, we come to a point where we sympathize with her.
Yeah.
Because she has lost her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's rare in a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She deserves to be like thrown in a prison cell for
right.
for a very long time.
Yeah, probably life.
Yeah. Yeah, easily. She murdered that lady for sure.
Yeah.
Well, two people.
Two people. She kidnapped a child.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I mean,
she's going to the slammer.
She's got a list of things.
Favorite moments of the movie? Anything stand out to you?
So there's going to be the obvious things, the shock things.
Sure.
So obviously, there is a scene that's probably already talked over by the internet where Andy decides to help little Ollie. For everyone that's seen it, Ollie's the other boy living in the house.
By the way, tremendous performance.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, how old was this kid?
10 at the time of shooting.
Okay. Now, when I see kids, I can't tell if they're 8 or 15. Like, right. I really don't know. So,
yeah,
like this kid's in his room, locked up. How you do with kids when you go out?
Yeah, as you do. Put some water in their bowl.
Yeah, which she forgot to do because then he smashes the window and eats the fly. So Andy's like, must be hungry. I guess I'll go give him, what all kids like, some fruit.
Yeah.
And hands it to a child, a 10-year-old child, the way you would any child, on a knife. And
sure, as you do.
Yeah, the way he just grabs the knife and starts aggressively chomping on it was unsettling and awesome.
You hear it before you see it.
Yeah, because it's all Andy.
Yeah, so they got that sound. I was watching an interview with the directors, and he said that he just literally took a knife and put a microphone up to it and was like, Ollie! Hey, Ollie! Kind of gnawing on the knife and getting that knife on teeth sound.
It's an actual knife on teeth sound.
Yes, which is a sound you don't want to hear.
No, but you hear it and you know exactly what it is.
Yeah, that not a lot gets to me these days in terms of gore, but something about that with the sound and also the way that Jonah Wren Phillips, the kid, because I did reach out to him for an interview.
Yeah.
Hope he...
Fingers crossed on that one.
My info was passed along to somebody at A24. I haven't heard back, but
hey,
I don't know.
It's early.
Hey. Yeah, I got some questions for that kid. But yeah, like his performance of that, he's so dead behind the eyes.
Yeah.
Even when he's doing this horrific shit to himself.
Insane. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just like that. Maybe that's why they cast him, but he did it so well that it was, again, surprising to see a child doing this. Like,
Yeah.
there's adults that couldn't pull this off. And this kid did it just really well. Everything with that kid would probably be in like my top scenes. His with the cat and the chickens and
That's right.
yeah,
The cat did survive, right?
the cat did.
Okay.
This movie is a trigger warning, like in a movie. But like the only one I care about is I go to does the dog die before the movie just to make sure the dog lives. But there's a lot of triggers I would imagine in this movie for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, seeing animals being hurt, that always gets to me. I can't do it.
My wife, she's an author, about to be a published author, and writes horror, and so she reads a lot of horror.
No way.
Yeah, and
I
she
didn't know that.
yeah, she has a book coming out in September. Ricky Goodwin's her name, but she's always talking about how the biggest like cop out writing technique to make somebody evil is just to kill the animal. And it's just, I agree with that. Like, it's just, I mean, if that's what you have to do to get people to not like somebody, it's kind of a weak thing. It's kind of like adding clairvoyance to a movie where you're just like, well, now I can fill in any empty holes because this person is psychic.
That's true. Hey, can you time travel back to 2007 and tell that to Rob Zombie?
Oh, God, I wish I could. I would tell a lot to him. Stick to music.
I'm pretty sure they show Michael killing a rat in his bathroom within the opening scene. It's like, oh, Michael bad.
Yeah, the
Right,
opening
audience?
scene. I just put myself back in that theater when I saw that movie too. That was
August 31st, 2007. I'll never forget that day. I was hyped.
all I remember. We'll obviously get back to the movie at hand, but all I remember is like this opening scene at the kitchen table, just showing how bad his life is. And it's just,
I'll skull fuck the shit out of you.
Yeah, I'll skull fuck the shit out of you, and constantly. And there's probably, there's like little Ollies in front of me, little 8-year-old kids with their mom.
Little Ollies.
And they're watching it, having a good time. Movie progresses. There's some teenager sex scenes like horror movies did all the time, and she covers their eyes because that's the part she didn't want them to see. I was like, nice.
Yeah, that movie infuriates me. I still hate it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'll never watch it again.
Yeah.
Once was enough. I never even saw the second one because of it.
I've tried many times over the years to revisit it. Like, hey, maybe I just need to give it a fresh watch. And each time I'm like, nah, still hate it.
Yeah, not good.
Just not good.
Rob Zombie could never make a Bring Her Back. He wants to, I think.
I don't think Rob Zombie has it in him to like, I would love nothing more to say like, holy shit, did you see the new Rob Zombie movie? He's back. This new movie's great. I'm not sure if he has it in him anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to say that.
I do like Lords of Salem though.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't the worst things I've seen.
Yeah.
And that's easy for me to say now. I just watched Until Dawn last night, so.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, awful. I've never
Awful?
It was so, it was consistently awful all the way through. So I appreciated that, but I've never been so, except when I saw, maybe we'll disagree because I do with a lot of people, but except for Skinamarink, I haven't seen a movie I wanted to be over more than this movie.
Oh, you didn't like Skinamarink? Yeah.
I gave it its fair 2 hours.
Yeah, there was something to it that I thought they could have taken that formula and turned it into something great, but it just never went anywhere.
Yeah. And it was like an hour and a half too long. It would have been a great short story.
Yeah, 30 minutes in, I was like, okay, I like this world this lo-fi slow world. I'm in a weird headspace. You got me. Now do something with it. But then it just keeps fucking meandering and slowly losing my interest. And then I'm like, okay, well, we're just not going to do anything.
Don't do anything. Nothing. Pop up. Well, you got to do more than that.
Yeah.
When a movie like Bring Her Back comes out, I mean, it looks like it should win an Oscar to to me, because movies like that exist.
Yeah, for sure. And, speaking of nominations, obviously Sally Hawkins deserves some sort of recognition. Will she get that? Probably not.
Right, because of the type of movie it is. It
Yeah.
tends to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help but... I know this has been beaten to death, but Toni Collette in Hereditary is an obvious, wow, talk about being passed over.
Yeah. Some parallels here with Hereditary almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the vibe of this movie is similar.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
it's been a while. Hereditary, I mean, it's a lot of possession too. So, I mean,
yeah.
Which A24 kind of lost me. Like, they went on this downhill slope after Hereditary, where they put out a horror movie and it wasn't as good as they had been doing. And this I heard somebody say, like, this brought them back to A24 horror. And I could see that.
I mean, it also comes down to, the directors and everything.
Yeah.
Anything by the Philippou Brothers, I will be there opening day.
Yeah. Or before, if you can.
You got, yeah. In our case, a little bit before.
Yeah.
But dude, you got to watch Talk to Me.
Yeah, I'm looking them up now to see what else they've done.
Well, they were YouTubers. Racco Racco.
Yep.
That's where they got their start.
Comedy YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
This is another Jordan Peele situation.
Yeah. Sort of, but you know what? I kind of feel like the level of entry for filmmaking is changing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you look at Zach Krager, he made Barbarian. He came from what was it, sketch group, or I don't know, Whitest Kids You Know or something.
Oh, is that him?
I think so. Don't quote me on that. But
right.
You had Barbarian, and his next movie Weapons is coming out. You look at Jordan Peele, like, he comes from a comedy background.
Mm-hmm.
Or even going back to, the Blair Witch Project. Like, that way of filmmaking was not available 20 years previously, with handheld cameras.
Right.
Well, I mean, they were around, but
it wasn't prominent. Still
right.
holds up, I believe.
Yeah. But I mean, you can shoot a movie on your iPhone now.
Well, that's what I mean, what 28 years later they say is on an iPhone.
Yeah.
With mods.
But
I mean,
I bet 10 years from now, their greatest horror movie of 2035 will be made by some kid that's 14 right now, shooting short films on his iPhone, and teaching himself to edit, and just through YouTube tutorials and stuff. So we no longer have that traditional system of oh, well, you gotta move out to Hollywood and get in the pictures, and
it's not
you go through
sell your script.
Right. I mean, you can go that route, but you don't have to.
No. Honestly, think you're better off not, to be honest.
Yeah, and Racco Racca, the Philippou Brothers, they had YouTube, and that's where they honed their skills.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's going to be some TikTok kid probably making the best movies.
Probably.
Yeah. Crazy to think about, but I'm here for it. If it's good, that's all I care about.
Yeah. If it's good, it's good.
I felt like in this movie, every scene did have some kind of meaning you needed to pay attention to.
Right.
There was no wasted time. And it was an hour and 40 minutes or something?
Something like that.
It's at hour and 39. That's my sweet spot, between an hour and a half and 2 hours. That's where a movie should be.
Sure.
Start to get tired, not because of the rain in any other movie. But like just reading some of the stuff, I don't know if you noticed watching again. Like, I mean, obviously, Ollie had the little mark on his face.
Right, and you see that same mark at the beginning of the movie with a girl
Yeah.
on the video.
Yeah. And also just looking up later, like Sally Fields, I thought she was just like a big sleep token fan or something with her tattoo on her hand, but apparently it's like a Wiccan symbol or something like that. I was like, I think I've done a tattoo like that for somebody.
Big sleep token fan. That's
Yeah.
great.
There was like a Wiccan tattoo for,
Yeah, I did notice that.
it was like for air or something like that, or what?
Oh.
Yeah, which makes sense. Drowns her kid.
Right.
So probably not her real tattoo, probably there just to zoom in to show you like we thought of this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, water is very prominent in the movie. It's raining constantly. You know, you have the big swimming pool in the backyard.
mhm.
And I did think that it was a tragic irony that when Andy was in the shower, he sees this vision of his dead dad and
Mhm.
says that she'll die in the rain. But he's the one that died in the rain.
Right. Yeah. Literally because of the rain. He's drowning in the puddle,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, man, talk about like pulling emotion out of the crowd, out of the audience. Like I was like, come on, Andy, like fucking don't die. You can't die. Come on, man. And usually, you know, you're not that emotionally invested in these types of characters.
Oh yeah. I mean, a teenager in a horror movie, you're not invested. You don't care what happens to them.
Yeah, usually not.
Um,
But I empathized with Andy. Like even when he first meets Laura and she like takes the selfie with her and his sister and he's like not even in the frame, but
see his hair a
Laura
little
doesn't
bit.
even notice and you just see that look on his face like, oh, well fuck me, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like that sense of alienation. I'm like, this poor fucking kid.
Yeah. It made me feel that age again.
Sure. Yeah. I think we've all been there.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Like I immediately they have this I don't know if you'd call it like a safe word or so when they're
Yeah.
telling the truth.
Grapefruit.
Grapefruit. Which
I-
immediately took me out of the movie because it made me think of what Sinister 2 where it's rutabaga. Like, oh, God.
I don't remember that.
I was like, let's not do that again. Luckily, they didn't make that they made it a reoccurring theme in the movie, but it wasn't a rutabaga situation. Thank God.
Yeah, I think that is what it implies. Just like, hey, I'm not fucking around. Grapefruit.
Yeah. Because you see it right at the beginning of the movie where she trying to make friends and they're making fun of her. He says they love you, and she's like, grapefruit, and he's like, oh yeah. They just had to be somewhere. And you immediately hate the mean girls. Luckily
Yeah,
you never
sure.
see them again.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of that funeral scene, first of all, if that was my dad's funeral
Mm-hmm.
and somebody showed up dressed like that, be like, nah.
Sorry.
Sorry. Let me stop you right there, Laura. You ain't got me.
Holy cow.
At least
She's
take off your goddamn sunglasses.
wild, to be honest. Like that
Yeah.
that was one of the more uncomfortable scenes in the movie. Was the funerals.
Yeah, it
And-
was.
Yeah, it's not. I've been to enough funerals to know that they are uncomfortable in themselves, but she Sally Fields is with Andy. What is her name's Laura, right?
Yes.
In the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Makes Andy like kiss his dad goodbye, you know. The
Yeah.
long like Tom Brady kiss on the lips like a dad would do.
Tom Brady.
I'm sure you've seen that video.
Oh, I have. That
Yeah.
is that's more disturbing than any horror movie.
Well, because the first one wasn't enough. He has to come back and give him another one.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
ooh, nah, that wasn't
Yeah.
good enough. Come back
Yeah, that
here.
was, come back and give me another one.
Ugh.
But yeah, like I don't do funerals anyway. I don't understand. Like My dad used to tell me, like, back in the days, like, oh, we used to take pictures with the body and stuff. And I'm like, why? Like, I think the whole premise is weird anyway. We were out there taking one last picture with the person.
Yeah, I
Takes it a
agree.
step beyond. This takes it one step beyond where it's give him a kiss.
Yeah, I've certainly never kissed a body anywhere, but especially on the lips.
Yeah.
And then she kisses him. You don't
Yeah.
even know him.
Was she on the lips or was she the forehead?
Oh no, she was right on the lips. She got up in there.
That's maybe a.
But it made me wonder, was that a part of the possession process or something? That Andy had to kiss him and she had to kiss him?
I was thinking she needed to kiss him just to get close enough to get his hair.
Oh.
Because she does cut the hair off.
Right.
But I also don't know what his hair has to do with anything.
Right. And is that what she feeds to Ollie at one
Ollie.
point?
Yeah.
Right. So
I don't understand.
I don't know about you, but the steps of the possession process, I'm a little murky. You know, there's that part in the video where it says something to the effect of consume the body. God, I wrote it down on a piece of paper and I left it at Alamo.
Nice.
Damn it. Yeah.
Nice. They give you those pieces of paper for that, I think.
Yeah, so some server probably found just the first
He's
thing I
telling
wrote.
all his friends.
The first thing I wrote down was naked fat dude ? Question mark. Yes, that's the first thing you like see in the movie. Basically, yeah. I was like,
loved him.
Who's this guy?
only bald representation in the movie, so I'm here for him.
But yeah, I'm a little confused on the possession process. So,
where did Ollie come from?
She kidnapped Ollie.
Kidnapped Ollie.
Yes.
And then basically you need to
Ollie
put a demon into his body.
Yeah. And Ollie has to eat her daughter,
which is in a freezer in the shed. And then, so that's where it got me. I thought for sure at one point in the movie, we already talked about Ollie's chomping down on a knife.
Yes.
And so, like the audience, Andy's like, we need to get you to a hospital.
Sure.
So he drags him over this huge, like, summoning circle. Yeah, that's
Salt
around.
line?
Yeah, it's all the way around the house.
Right.
Obviously keeping him from leaving.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing that in our D&D campaign, so I'm real familiar. You can ask me anything.
Okay, as you do.
Yeah, and so as soon as he drags him across the line, Ollie starts
reverting to his old self.
Yeah. But when he chews on the knife, the way Andy's trying to communicate with him is just like write down something.
Right.
You write something down. So he wrote down bird, and the dumbass I am, I'm like, oh, it's because he's got to eat this dead body and then baby bird it into the other person. No, that was his last name as his real name, but I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense because
I didn't catch that until the second watch because I was like, oh yeah, his last name's Bird. That's why he wrote Bird. Yeah,
which I think is why he did. But I was thinking that he's regurgitating this dead body into someone else the way a mama bird would do for.
Yeah.
It makes more sense. Probably not the way it was supposed to be, but
sure,
it's the way I immediately saw it.
And that is a good thing about this movie. On rewatch, you pick up little hints and clues along the way, like the pieces start to come together a little bit, which I think is always the mark of a good movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When everything's not baby birded to.
Yes.
Like all the information, like, here you go, dumb fucking audience. We got to tell you exactly what is going on.
Yeah. When the foreshadowing is so strong, you're just waiting for that to happen again because you know it's going to happen.
Michael Myers killing animal. He's bad.
Yep. Guess what? Best you're never going to guess what happens to this kid.
You won't believe it.
Yeah. So you have to. Her daughter was blind, apparently.
Yes.
I missed that.
Yeah.
So you had to find like I guess you had to find an exact.
One of the steps said mimic the death.
Yeah, so she has to drown her. She's gonna drown her in the pool, not just drown her.
Right.
Drown her in the pool. So if she's drowned, how are you feeding her this body? I mean, just pushing it down like a plunger style, or what do you? Once Ollie decides to let loose what he just ate.
I think maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
That might just be too much logistics for this type of movie.
I need a possession for dummies. Like
Yeah.
somebody write down exactly how all this works. And I'm sure people do understand everything. Maybe I'm just an idiot, but
Oh, I'll always admit to that. I am.
yeah.
And like, I'm not gonna like. I'll listen to anything. Like you tell me, you're probably right. I was like, how does this work? Like, how is it going to work? If it even works.
So in my mind, I thought that after Ollie consumes the dead daughter, Piper was going to like come to life, and she is now her dead daughter, almost like a reanimation. I don't know.
Okay.
And like maybe Ollie is sacrificed and all that. Like he's just a pawn in all of this. Just an unfortunate person.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just.
Yeah, I thought they had to keep the body, transfer the body, because why else would she have her kid's body in this freezer, which Piper does find, and
yeah, she's like, oh, it's
meat.
cold.
It's just meat. That's all it is. Not a lie from Sally Field. Like, not a lie, but also she's blind. She's not stupid. You know what you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
She's felt a lot of faces and people in her time.
Yeah, speaking of her feeling faces, like that one scene where Ollie is mimicking Andy's voice.
Yeah.
He's like, Piper.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is creepy.
Yeah, because he starts mimicking
the
several
cat
voices. Yeah.
Mimics the cat at one point, which is...
It is...
Junkman.
Yeah, he didn't.
I love that. You let out Junkman, didn't you?
I just love the Australian accent. Beautiful accent, to be honest.
Or New Zealand, I believe. I don't know. I get them a little
the American in me can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
But I know there is one.
Sure.
To not offend anybody. Like, yeah. They're both great as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, because he didn't eat the cat. He didn't eat Andy, but he could still mimic them. Guess whatever was living inside. Because he gets to a point where he's just so hungry. I don't know how long Ollie's been in this house before this started. Because he's starving. Because first the knife, and then he decides to have, a little kitchen table. And the cat's tail. He's trying to eat chickens and stuff. So, like...
Which I think we got to slow down there and talk about the table.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Very effective. Talking about like sound effects and stuff. Just the sound of teeth on the wood being ripped out of the gums with the...
Did they get the sound effects the same way for that?
I don't know. Probably.
Didn't elaborate on that. It was very... A lot of people, it's the fingernails bending off, cracking off a hand. I get it. The teeth popping out of the mouth like that was a little more disturbing to me.
Yeah.
Because it feels more plausible. Like you could bite into something and it's going to do that. We're not chewing on tables frequently, but like...
Right.
Gross.
Maybe not you.
No, well, I've never been that hungry. And if I was... I don't know if that's the first thing I go to. I'd go for something soft, but you know what? Crazy scene. That was when had Andy already been admitted to the hospital, which we'll get to when he starts doing that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay. Because I think Laura comes home and feeds Ollie the hair that she stole from the dad.
Yeah.
To kind of satiate him for some reason. Like the hair is going to fill him up more than a table. There's a lot more table than hair. Like that's going to fill you up.
Plenty of table.
Plenty of table to go around. Plants, just eat a plant. Like there's plants in the house.
So Good point. I did think of this. While very effective scene, like the teeth getting ripped out and everything. If the purpose is just to satiate his appetite, there's plenty of other edible things.
There's a refrigerator right there.
Yeah. So why is he eating these objects? I guess he's trying to eat a knife and a table. Does he just not understand? Is he so far gone that he thinks it's food?
All he knows is eat.
Right.
He's just like, whatever's in front of him, he's got to eat. Because, yeah, it's not like he's thinking. But, I mean, they kind of imply when he's watching the cat, like, oh, that's something alive. I need to eat that.
Yeah.
So
Thank
then
God
when
he
he's-
doesn't.
Yeah. Thank God. I might have been done at that point. But,
Yeah.
like, he goes from that to a knife and then a table. And that's kind of, maybe it's just he's so far hungry at that point, he's lost all.
Well, I mean, he has a serious feast. Like she walks in the kitchen and he's like taking a bite out of the milk carton, like the plastic.
Right. We've all done that.
Yeah.
But, like,
Classic move.
that's why I was like, how long did it take him to get to this point? Like, how long was Ollie around
Right.
before Piper and Andy show up to the house? She seems to have him under control to an extent. So, I mean, it feels like it couldn't have been that long. But also, when do they stop looking for kids? When do police departments stop even looking for kids? Because it didn't seem to be a priority.
Right. Well, I guess they just wouldn't think to look at this
Foster mom.
child services lady that has a good reputation with 20 years in the company.
Yeah.
It's like the other lady was like, she's worked here for 20 years.
Yeah, I loved it. She's fine. She's great. Love that lady.
Yeah, that lady was great. I liked when she's showing her Piper's bedroom. She's like, good thing she's blind.
Especially since everything is still her former daughter Kathy's.
Yeah.
She still has her name up on the wall. She makes a Piper dress in Kathy's old like cardigan or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And like, yeah, that lady was awesome. And then, unfortunately, another great scene when they catch you off guard like that.
Right.
She realizes Laura's a little bit crazy, maybe more than a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and decides with the audience, we need to get the cops.
Yes.
And then somehow Laura's in her SUV and just plows into her. It's almost like a comic gag, which makes sense. With
Almost,
these guys.
yeah.
Just out of nowhere. Not the rest of the tone of the movie is not like this.
It's a bit like, bear with me here, Halloween 2, when the car runs into Ben Tramer. It
Yes.
just explodes.
Which is fine. Like it was like, I don't know if I should laugh or be shocked by it, but they don't waste any time going from that to, hey, we're gonna drown Andy in a puddle. So
Yeah.
they did it the right way, but I was like, kind of funny. It was kind of funny the way it
Yeah,
happened.
sure. She should have had one of those horns that like
Yeah.
exactly.
I seen on that she's driving a Tesla, so it's whatever she wants it to be. So good.
Driving a Cybertruck.
Yeah. Oh my god. Movie just lost a few ratings. It could have been so much better if she had the Cybertruck. The aerodynamics just send her over the top. But
But the Cybertruck spins out because of the mud puddle. It can't
Right.
even handle that.
Was nearby and helped pull the vehicle out of a bad situation.
paneling falls off the side.
Exactly.
Doesn't do as much damage. Plenty of ways this could have been a comedy. Mostly it wasn't.
Yeah. The final shot of the movie, gorgeous, heartbreaking, with Sally Hawkins in the pool with her daughter.
Yep. And then that was the final, right? Credits roll after that.
I think so, yeah.
Because I know, is that happening? I remember that happening. You've seen
Yeah.
it more than me now, but
So
I also remember the voicemail from Andy to Piper, is that plane?
Oh yeah, that's before that.
Okay.
So yeah, Piper, she runs out into the road. A car finds her. We assume that she's safe.
Hmm.
Well, she is safe because you see a shot of her sitting at a red light, just kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Ollie is discovered by the cops,
Right.
and whew, poor fucking kid. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the physical stuff, like the mental.
If he
I mean,
remembers that, I assume he's going to.
I hope not.
Man, I don't know when you lose your baby teeth, but he's going to have like permanent, like, I think it's before 10 years old, but maybe I'm wrong. But there's a chance he's having surgeries the rest of his life to fix.
Yeah, a ton of plastic surgeries for sure. The prosthetics that this kid went under to do this role
Right.
couldn't have been easy. Like,
I mean, because his teeth, not even before the table and knife, were awful, right? So he had that going on. The
Mhm.
contacts had
Yeah.
to be awful. I can't do that. I can't do contacts.
I mean, I'm wearing contacts now, but not like,
Full eyeball.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never tried that.
No, I don't think I will. But
And like the giant belly that he's wearing. So I did hear the director say that they kind of faced some challenges shooting all of that because it's raining the entire movie.
Right.
So obviously this makeup and prosthetics and stuff, the water wears it down. The arm scene, when he's eating the flesh on his arm, that might have gotten to me more than the knife.
did he also? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, he
him
starts
eating his arm.
eating his arm.
Oh, see, I remember him eating a bit of Sally Field's arm, or was that?
He does that as well.
Okay.
Because at one point she's like digging into her arm and trying
She
to.
makes the circle.
Yes.
Doesn't she?
Yeah. But yeah, when he's like peeling that flesh off and just the sound of it, I was like, ugh.
It was so good. It was done so well. I think everything with him was the best part of the movie. Because again, I'm never rooting for the kids because I think they're terrible actors. Typically, apparently, the kid who played Andy has won some awards, so he's good, which explains why he was good.
Yeah,
But
Billy
I
Barrett.
think, I think one reason he just looked so good and likable is because Sally Field was so unlikable. Or Sally Hawkins. I said Sally Field. Sally Hawkins is so.
Yeah, I may have said Sally Fields at some point during this episode. It's understandable.
We just say Sally,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she did so good at her job that it made him look even better.
Yeah.
Without
she
doing
is
anything.
like the queen of gaslighting.
Yeah.
Like that moment where she punches Piper in the face.
Oh my god. That's another.
That looked so real and like, God
Yeah.
damn, this lady is. What'd you hit your sister for?
Yeah.
It's like, God.
You know you've been taking those protein shakes,
Eh?
punching your sister in the
Your
face.
testosterone's out of control.
I love the teenager, like, yeah, I gotta have my protein and lift weights before I go to bed because it's what we do.
I literally used to do that. So
Yeah.
I
was gonna
still
say,
do.
like-
I still do.
Yeah.
I take
Being-
creatine.
Being in high school, it's like, well, I'm not doing anything. I might as well do some push-ups. Like that's what teenage boys do. But it was
Well,
just like,
Yeah, like when you're just out of control of your environment. This is a tangent, but the reason I fell in love with like weightlifting and that type of stuff, it was something that I could control.
right.
It's like I don't know how to describe it, but once I started doing it, I was like, oh, it's therapeutic in a way.
Yeah, it is. And you feel good afterwards.
Yeah.
It's probably because of the lack of oxygen to your brain.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, when you're like knee deep in an intense workout, like you literally can't think about your problems. You're just you're just in this suffering, if you will.
Yeah. Nothing can be worse than what you're going through right then.
Right.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's every teenage boy too. So I mean, but like,
Yeah, lifting weights with Slipknot in my bedroom. Shit, let's go.
yeah, you did your time. I
Sorry.
at first,
Spilling water all over myself.
at first I was like, oh, he's actually pissing the bed. I was like, we've all been there. But then they get to the point where they show her pissing in a pitcher and dumping it on his crotch, and I was like, okay, that's crazy.
Yeah,
And then
that's a whole different level of gaslighting. That's
And-
just insane.
then she pulls open his eyelids to unlock his phone. That was one of the crazier, funnier parts of the movie is him trying to talk to his friends you never see and saying how weird Ollie and the family is.
Right.
And then goes to here's Piper scream and turns around and Sally Hawkins is going through his phone.
Yeah.
Like just like that. Obviously she has a kidnapped boy, so we would all do the same thing if we had children in our house we weren't supposed to.
Yeah. Any sort of invasion of privacy
Mhm.
is like I used to have a brother. Well, technically I still have a brother, but he would break into my room like with a knife and like take my clothes and shit. And I'd like see him wearing my clothes at school, and I had to like literally lock my door every day. And so maybe
What?
that's where
Yeah, this should be a movie in itself. That's-
like that's where my hatred of that kind of thing comes from.
yeah. Would you have not given him like well he had the knife? That's crazy.
Oh yeah, they're like he would take a butter knife and like pop the door open.
Oh,
Yeah.
the way you told it, I thought he's bursting in, threatening you with a knife.
Give me your fucking
I'm
clothes.
taking your clothes and I'm wearing them to school tomorrow. And if anybody asks, these are my clothes.
Give me your Slipknot shirt.
Okay. The butter knife makes more sense.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should have clarified.
Yeah. If he busted in with a credit card, it would have made like more sense. Well, no, he'd be like, I'm buying your clothes. Yeah. Okay.
Go to the mall, buy some
Yeah.
new clothes.
Buy yourself something nice because this is mine now. This was before acid wash had become in. You know, he likes the look of worn clothes more than he does. It's kind of a compliment to you that he liked your stuff enough to wear it.
I guess it is just. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that.
We opened up something crazy, but good to know that your brother wasn't threatening you with a knife. Because
Yeah, hey, at least nobody dumped piss on me.
yeah, honestly, that might have been the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be like, why would you want to wear those? They got piss on them.
Oh man.
But there's no other real big standout moments in the movie to me.
I
As
do
a
have to
visually impaired person, I wonder about the game they were playing at the
Oh yeah.
because I was like, that seems fun.
Yeah, I needed to like. I wanted to look that up, get some backstory.
They were aggressive and mean to each other, but you could tell it was in like a sports way. And I was like, this game looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
They're like beaming each other with balls. It was like dodgeball, except you wanted to get hit. I don't know.
Yeah, the ball had like some bells on it, so I guess you can hear it.
So yeah, you know which way it's going.
Yeah, it was pretty cool though.
Yeah.
One thing that I do like about the movie is that we now have like a new iconic house.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't get that in a lot of horror movies these days.
No. Well, Parasite was the last one, if you consider that horror.
Sure. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess similar thing, but yeah, just
Like-
the layout of the house with the unique pool in the backyard.
Mm-hmm. And the shed off to the side, like it's very. You would know what somebody described it. You'd know what movie they were talking about.
Yeah, if you saw a picture of this house, you'd be like, "Oh, bring her back."
Yeah, absolutely. Which, I mean, it helps that there's like 3 characters in the movie, so it gives you that's basically, well, I guess 4.
Right.
House is almost the 5th character.
Sure. Yeah, it is a very contained movie.
Yeah,
It
which I prefer.
it basically takes place at this house.
Yeah, like almost exclusively. They barely when it almost took me out of it when they went somewhere else.
Right.
When she had to take her to the YMCA or whatever, I was like, oh, that's right. There's other people around.
Yeah, and Andy does go to the social services office.
They constantly like allude to like Andy did something when he was a kid and it was so bad. And we find out later on that he punched Piper when he was 8 years old or something like that.
Right.
That was the big reveal.
Yes.
And I've never been more let down since I saw Power Rangers, and like the big thing was like Kimberly's nudes leaked or something, and it was like, it's not that crazy. When I was 8 years old, I punched a girl, like whatever. Like my mom used to babysit kids. This girl made me mad, so I hit her and I broke her nose. And actually, when I was at my dad's funeral, she came through the line with her mom, and they're like, remember when you punched Sarah in the nose? I was like, I do. I don't, but you guys remind me about it all the time. It was like I was a child.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't thinking. So I mean, he was 8 years old. He was younger than Ollie was when he was eating tables, and nobody cares about that.
Right.
But like that being the big thing, like to why maybe he shouldn't live with Piper. They wanted to separate him because he had this troubled childhood.
Well, I'm sure that Laura knew that before she even adopted them, and was like, because you got to remember, she's an expert in child psychology. So she knows exactly how to turn Piper against Andy and how to gaslight Andy. And she reads that in their file, I'm assuming, when she's planning to probably kill the dad and who knows, kill the moms. Who knows how far back this goes.
Honestly.
But she sees that as like, oh, I can exploit that.
Yeah, honestly.
And I'll spray his body spray on me and go punch her in the face in the middle of the night like a psycho.
Crazy. Completely forgot about that until you brought it up. And that's a wild moment. But she, that makes a lot more sense because it wasn't that, the reveal wasn't that big to me, but obviously if he has a record, going to be easier to, especially from the outside, like, oh, he can't be here because of this. He's a bad person. I know because I'm a professional.
Hey, perfect timing. Hi, Phil. Thanks so much for your interest in speaking with Jonah. At this time, however, we're not going to be able to facilitate an interview. We'll let you know if anything changes. Thanks. Yeah. Dang.
That sucks. That sucks.
Hey, man, you got to shoot your shot.
Yeah, honestly, you miss a... Yeah. They say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but
Michael Scott.
Sometimes you know you're going to miss the shot, but that one seemed plausible. That seemed like it could happen.
Yeah, it's not like I was asking, hey, does Sally Hawkins want to do an interview?
Yeah, she's not doing anything now, right?
Yeah,
she's done with this movie. She's done working.
Yeah.
You didn't ask for the directors. You asked for Ollie.
Yeah, it's all good.
Maybe they said future. They really like edged you there and make you think that.
I mean, probably not, but
yeah, they dangled it there a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of rude. If it wasn't going to happen, just say it.
Yeah, that's all good.
It's all right. When did you email them?
What's that?
When did you email them?
This was like 4 or 5 days ago.
Okay.
Because I reached out to his talent agent in New Zealand and was like, hey, could I possibly set up an interview? And they were like, yeah, we'll connect you with somebody in the U.S. at A24 that arranges that kind of stuff. So, I don't know.
Well,
doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, you took all the right steps.
Yeah, anytime I try to set something like that up, I send out an email not expecting to hear back.
Now, was A Quiet Place A20, or not A Quiet Place, good time to forget the name of a movie. In a Violent Nature, was that A24? That was Shudder.
No, that was IFC Films.
Okay.
Yeah, I interviewed Rye Barrett that played Johnny in that movie. I think I just reached out to him on Instagram.
Oh, nice. Well,
yeah.
It might be the way. I mean, that's different, though. You're dealing with an adult, so.
That's how I got David Howard Thornton back in the day from
Really?
Terrifier. Yeah.
On Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram, which you couldn't do now that
No.
it's like massive, but that was before Terrifier 2 came out and it like seriously
blew
blew
up.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that's probably a whole nother episode. Probably when Terrifier 4 comes out. Is there 3?
Yeah,
I'm
3.
sure 4. Yeah, but there's a lot of hate for that movie. Like people that say it's just like people like Terrifier have no brain, I guess. Like it's just like senseless. There's a lot of, Twitter's a place of hate. And like people
Sure.
just are very opinionated. But there's like this dividing line where people are like, "Oh, if you like this, you're stupid. This isn't good." And like you just like to get off on people getting killed, and then like the other half are like, but
Yeah, I mean, look, I like Bring Her Back and I love the Terrifier movies.
yeah, and they are not similar, and not even. I would rate them, not all of them, but some of them I'd rate pretty close, even though they're not remotely close.
Sure.
Or Bring Her Back
Yeah,
is a far better movie than Terrifier
sure.
in
On
every way.
on a technical level,
Yeah.
emotional level, absolutely.
Every acting level,
But
written better, filmed better. But Terrifier, it's fun. It's not written bad. It's acted pretty good. The special effects are crazy good.
mhm.
Like, it's hard when I write movies or when I review movies, and I'm like, I give it a bad review because that's most of my reviews. And then I look at another movie I gave the same review to, and I'm like, yeah, but is it that bad? Or is it that good? Because I'm trying to have a system in place.
Yeah. I mean, something like Terrifier, I think, is more rewatchable in
Yeah.
a way. Like, I've seen Bring Her Back twice now. I love the movie. It's very well made. Will it be one that I go back to often? Probably not.
No, it's not
And
one
that's
you're going to
not a-
sit down with a friend and tell them you got to watch this.
Right. I mean, some movies are just not that kind of movie. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very heavy movie. It definitely puts you in a weird headspace, being so emotional and just bleak.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like I told you the other day when I was sitting at the Alamo, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to watch Bring Her Back again. I'm sort of dreading it in a way. Like,
There's a chance it could ruin your whole day. Like, it's not a fun movie, but that doesn't mean it's not a good movie.
right.
So,
And there are some moments of levity. There's some humor throughout the movie.
yeah.
But it is very bleak. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Almost to a fault. Like, bleak. Is it bleak for the sake of being bleak? I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't. And I mean, is that just their brand? I didn't see Talk to Me. So like, is that?
I mean, Talk to Me it's pretty heavy also, very heavy themes. There's some disturbing stuff in it, but it's a more expansive movie. There's more characters, and at times there's like a party atmosphere to it because all these kids are at a party and doing this ritual thing or holding this hand. And
Right.
yeah, I'm excited for you to watch that one.
Yeah. That's probably going to be soon. It's nice because I was looking back at the movies I've watched this month. And when I see certain movies, like, I don't know if they're better because I've been watching bad movies, but like, was Talk to Me as good as I think it was because I've been watching nothing but Mission Impossible movies? Maybe. Like, there's a good chance. Like, I don't, like, I saw Until Dawn. I told you. So, I mean, Bring Her Back is like this 50-star movie compared to Until
Sure.
Dawn.
Yeah.
But also compared to Mission Impossible. But I still don't think it was better than Sinners. I think that might be the best movie I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, Sinners was good. Did you see that at Alamo and
I
get
did.
the drink glasses?
I didn't get that. Were they like little shot glasses?
Yeah, so they were like drink glasses. Like,
Oh, like the ones that I
right.
didn't get one. No.
So at the early screening I went to, they had them out at every seat. Like every seat got one.
Nice.
And of course, when some people left the movie, they didn't take their glass with them. So I was like, I'm scooping those up.
Yeah, 100%. That's me at the Hurricanes games.
Yeah,
Taking towels.
So I got like 4 of those glasses.
Dang, that's awesome. It's a family set.
Yeah, I'll give you one.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love that because I love that movie. I went in not knowing anything about it and then just left
Yeah.
thoroughly impressed, which is kind of how I was with this movie. You told me they were doing this screening, bought tickets because I know my wife loved Talk to Me, and she couldn't have been more excited for it. And then it's almost better to go in blind.
Yeah, it is. And I only watched the teaser trailer for this movie, and I was like, okay, I'm sold. I don't want to see a full trailer.
Yeah.
I want to go in as blind as possible, and that's what I did.
So they showed it before the movie. Was that the teaser or was that the full trailer?
Oh, yeah, I think that was the teaser.
Okay.
Because we went to like the mystery movie, and
So we didn't know it was going to be.
They showed the trailer to bring her back, and I was like, did I get this wrong?
I was like, that's crazy if they show it right after this. But that was like what I've seen of it, was that little teaser.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I don't know if it looks good or bad, but, I'm here for it.
Oh, by the way, I just pulled up your wife's books.
Yeah.
On her website.
Mm-hmm.
So she has 2 books, Lover's Leap and Ghost Glasses.
Yes. Both of those are coming, one sooner than the other. One's in September, I believe. It's Lover's Leap.
Oh, okay. Okay, these are pre-order.
Pre-order.
Does she have stuff out now that she's already written?
No, that's her first actual published book.
Oh, nice. Okay.
She's also going to be in several anthologies coming out, which is pretty exciting. She's going to be in the Hudson area or wherever in New York for some horror readers convention as an author in November, so that's super exciting for her. It's nice that now she's more talented, better looking, everything above me. I'm just here for the ride. It's a great place to be.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. So I have to read her book, and I don't read. So, I mean, I'll definitely read her book. Excited to read her book, but me reading is a hard thing. It's going to take, unless it's like a 3rd grade level. I struggle.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. About a year ago, I was on a Goosebumps kick.
Oh,
I would read a book or read a little bit before bed, and I was like, this is perfect because
it is.
I don't want a lot of complexity before bed. But Goosebumps, that's like right in the middle. I'm like, yeah, this is
Goosebumps is one of my favorite things ever.
Same.
Also, to show how lazy I am, I grew up with Goosebumps, buy them all the time at the book fair. And then one time I was sitting on the couch and I bought all the Goosebumps books off of eBay just to make sure I had them all. So you like look in the back and it has some little girl's handwriting. They were all her books.
Yeah.
And so I'm so lazy that I was living in a 600 square foot studio apartment. And I was like, I wonder if those books hold up. I'm 35 years old at the time or whatever. I'm like, I wonder if they still hold up. But I didn't want to get up and go to the shelf in a 600 square foot apartment. So I downloaded them and started reading them, which was then nice because,
more convenient.
Yeah, it was. When my dad was going through everything, like we had to take turns, like watching him, which doesn't require a lot. It's just sitting there. If he needs a drink, you give him a drink. If he's cold, turn the fan off. But I just read Goosebumps books all night long, and they're perfect. It's probably the only reason I liked Clown in a Cornfield, because it was just a Goosebumps book, except without anything paranormal in it at all. But
I still want to watch that.
Yeah, you shouldn't. But I mean, also, if you look at it like a Goosebumps book, it's not that bad.
Sure.
Kind of like that M. Night Shyamalan movie with the kids and their grandma and grandparents that aren't them.
I hate that movie.
watch
The
it again and
visit.
just be like, oh, this is a Goosebumps book. It's hilarious.
kind of.
So it's pretty good if you go into it with that mindset. But I would never say it's good. I don't recommend it. But
Like, why is this little white kid rapping to
yeah,
strangers?
and why
It's
are
M.
we
Night
watching it?
Shyamalan.
Like, this is when I get secondhand embarrassed in a movie like that.
Oh,
It's losing stars.
yeah.
But yeah, Goosebumps is about my level. But yeah,
Sure.
she's smarter than that, and so it's probably a harder read. I don't know if they're young adult or adult. Does it say?
Oh, I don't have the website up anymore.
That's all right. I could
Yeah.
always ask her.
Well, hey, we should all do like a horror con together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she can get a booth set up
Yeah.
and
'Cause I wanted to come out last weekend.
yeah, for Fear Fest.
Yeah, but I woke up too late, so
That's all good. If you don't mind me asking, when did your dad pass?
it was probably. So my family has a history of dying on holidays. It seems to be our thing. So I don't know if we get to pick beforehand. So I'm starting to think of mine.
Oh,
But it was 2 years ago on Valentine's Day, so over 2 years ago.
oh shit! I didn't
Yeah.
know it was that recent.
I mean, I don't know. Is that recent? I guess it's recent. It's recent enough to where I still use it as an excuse to get out of things if people don't know.
Mm.
So, people are like, hey, you want to go to Animazement? My dad died. Oh, it's not a lie. He did. And he would love that I'm using it to get out of spending money. So
How did he die?
it was cancer, but it was one of those things. It was a nice thing because he got to decide kind of when he went. It was
Mhm.
like a, hey, we're not going to do this anymore. So it's going to be fast, which is, I think, much better than the alternative of, oh, by the way, my dad died yesterday. I wasn't planning on it. It doesn't hit you as hard.
Right.
But still, as a not emotional guy, it still hits you hard. I'm not saying that at all, but
Oh, sure.
it's nice to know and be able to talk to him before,
Yeah.
knowing what's happening. So
Yeah. Next month will be 10 years since my dad died
really,
of cancer.
yeah. My dad had leukemia, so I think that's what, like, lungs or blood or something like that.
Mm.
I don't know which it is, but it was constant transfusions and stuff like that.
Yeah, my dad had pancreatic cancer, which is not a good one.
I hear
I mean,
that's an
They're
awful
all not good, obviously, but
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
It's not fun to go through, and it's like I tattoo people, so I tattoo a lot of nurses. So I remember like my dad being so weak, going through chemo, and then I walk in, and I'm pretty much like, "Don't worry, like I'm here. I tattoo enough nurses, I might as well be a doctor." And my dad almost getting all his strength back just to tell me, like, "All right, tell the nurses that's my kid. He's the one I warned you about." And I'm like, "All right, what are you guys talking about when I'm not here?" I was like, "What is this about?" So I think I like to think I brought out the best in him.
that's great.
Yeah, because he never had a beard and he like really needed cleaned up. So I got the electric razor and tried shaving him. I don't shave. I don't know how to shave. And he
Yeah.
ripped that thing out of my hand to do it himself. I'm like, oh, there's the strength we didn't know he had. So I like to think it was me.
Yeah.
But maybe, this movie was a little, I guess it hit both of us more than some people with dead dads ourselves.
Yeah. I think that's maybe that's why Hereditary got to me in a lot of ways. Like, I mean, just the grandmother dies in that, but
Yeah.
this might be like digging into too much, but my dad's death, like, I can trace it back, and it like caused a rift
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of people. Like, sometimes death brings people together, sometimes it reveals how people truly are,
Yeah.
exposes I guess you could say mental illness in a way. Like, oh, this person is, wow, I didn't know this person was like that. In Hereditary, the grandmother dying sets off this chain of events where shit just gets out of hand, and in some way it affected me in that can't quite put my finger on it, but it's getting to me kind of way.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that 100%. You see the good and the bad when it comes from somebody dying.
Yeah.
And that's before money's even involved. If there is, that's when the real bad comes out.
Oh, dude, I could I could do a whole separate podcast on the 5-year hell that I went through with my siblings and everything. I had to get 2 different lawyers.
Oh my God.
And mind you, this was all, God, I'm really, really digging in here, but it was all stuff that like our dad sat us all down and said, like, I want this to happen with this house and this, like, here's what I want. And after he died, it was like, oh, we're not doing any of that. Fuck you for even.
Right. He didn't know. He wasn't in the right headspace when he told us that.
Yeah, they're just. Yeah. Long story short, it was 5 years of fucking hell, and so.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. I feel like I'm lucky because we don't have money. So I mean, my mom got whatever. Basically, the will was like, hey, whatever I have goes to your mom. Then if she dies, it goes to this brother because he's the most responsible, and you guys figure it out. And I'm like, I don't need anything. So that made things much better.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't like a ton of money, but it was just it's like, hey, are we going to settle our dad's estate? Because I feel like I can't even grieve properly until it is settled.
Yeah.
So like talking to a therapist, I felt like I didn't get a chance to properly grieve because I associate his death with all this other bullshit that I had to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a terrible thing.
So needless to say, there's many people in my family I haven't talked to in a long time, never will.
Yeah, never
don't
will
care.
probably.
Just because we share the same parents does not mean shit.
Honestly.
Anytime I hear people say like, "Oh, you got to stick with family no matter what," it's like, I beg to differ.
Yeah. The Hurricanes played hockey on Easter, and everybody's like, family and God before hockey. And I was like, to who? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm going to the hockey game. But also my family's 700 miles away. So, but even if they were here, I would have went to the hockey game. Family's second to me.
Yeah. Get out of here, Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I'm sorry. Vin, if that is your real name, but yeah.
If that is your real name.
That's not, is it? It can't be.
Can't be.
I didn't even think about that till.
What should we name him?
Yeah,
Vin.
Vin. I'm gonna look at Vin. Sounds like a good name. My brother. Since now we've just gone the wrong way, but I'm from Chicago. That's why I always had the Cubs hat. But my older brother didn't have a name, and he was about to be born. And my parents were like, "Well, what do we name him?" And they had the White Sox game on, which was their own fault. But they're like, let's just name him after the next guy that comes up to bat. And it was Ozzie Guillen. And they're like, well, maybe the next one. So I always like to think I have a big brother Ozzie because that would be a really cool thing to have.
What's your brother's name?
David.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a word. I mean, it's column A and column B, 2 different things completely.
His name is White Sox.
Exactly. Yeah. They couldn't, like, let's just do the whole thing. Let's do it all. It would be better because then you can have a logo. Not many people have that if you're not Prince. So it'd be really cool. But bring her back.
Bringing it back to bring her back. I feel like this is a proper movie to dig into like some
past family trauma.
Yeah, some familial trauma,
mm-hmm.
being that it's a prominent theme in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for sharing all that, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, you told me about your brother attacking you with a knife. So.
Yeah. Dude, I have so many... I've been through some fucked up shit.
It's crazy.
amazing. I'm still hanging on.
Yeah.
Barely.
Molded you who you are now.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts on Bring Her Back?
No, I think it's something that that's when when I'm watching movies, I'm trying to, when I go to like actually review them, I'm trying to review them as whether I enjoyed it or not. Would I tell people to see this? Would everybody like this? Like that type of thing.
Right.
And I think this is a movie everyone should see. Like if you like horror movies, I think you need to see this movie.
Yeah. It, on rewatch, this isn't necessarily a gripe, but it does feel more like a family drama than a horror movie. I
Yeah.
mean, there's shocking moments in it for sure. And on rewatch, you kind of know what to expect. So it doesn't punch quite as hard as that first watch because I was like, oh, here comes a knife scene.
Yep.
And it's still effective. And I love it. But so on rewatch with the dampening of the shocking moments, you're kind of left with the family drama.
Right.
And it's still a great movie, but at the same time, I didn't have like a scared horror kind of feeling from this.
Uneasy. So I think I'm a sucker for a good drama, so that's probably why
Yeah.
it did it for me.
And I'm not knocking the movie, but there's something that's keeping me from saying best horror I've seen in 5 years, loved it,
Yeah.
masterpiece. And I'm not sure what that reason is, but it's still a great movie. I love
Yeah.
it.
Because I mean, it's not a movie. If I'm gonna sit down to watch a horror movie, I tend to lean towards a slasher movie or something that's just gonna keep me
Same.
entertained.
Yeah.
So it's not. I may never sit down and watch this again. But if you haven't seen it, I think you should. That type of
Right.
movie for sure.
And you got to watch Talk to Me.
I have
Yes. I want to
I have
rewatch
to.
that soon. I love
So
that movie.
that is rewatchable then.
Yeah, I would say Talk to Me has a bit of a higher rewatchability factor.
Okay.
Yeah. They're both similar, but they have their own flair to them. But yeah, give it a watch. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, we'll probably watch that this week. I gotta see the new Mission Impossible, and
Oh.
that's gonna be just as good.
Man, you are on a Mission Impossible kick.
Well, I saw the first one I saw was Part 7. That was I avoided all the other ones because I wasn't a Tom Cruise fan, and now I'm in.
I don't know if I've ever sat down and watched an entire Mission Impossible movie.
Oh, they're so awful. They're so good, but
Yeah.
I mean they're so bad. Like,
Yeah,
they're just you don't need to pay attention.
sure.
Like they're not good. I would not recommend them,
Mm.
but they're good. They are so fun to watch.
Nice.
My wife doesn't watch them with me. I'm not a good person to ask about movies, honestly. Good time to tell you this. My two favorite movies are American Movie, which is
Oh, yeah.
documentary
Sure.
about making, Coven, which they have the VHS at Alamo. I don't know if it's real or if it's like a fake one they put up there. And then also Hot Fuzz, I think, is a perfect movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think it's
yeah, that's a
just
great
like-
movie.
Yeah, I just think it's well written and well done. But those are my top two movies of all time, next to Back to the Future, probably.
Nice. Solid picks.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know if I can even talk about movies if I've set the bar so low.
No, man. I've missed hearing you talk about movies. I miss your podcast, Idiot
Yeah.
Review.
It was such a good time because we literally are that. And we don't know. Let people know I'm very opinionated, but I know I'm not right. Like, it's okay. I shouldn't offend anybody with what I'm feeling because you
Dude,
could tell me
that's-
I'm wrong and I'll probably be like, you know what? You're right, but I still feel my way.
That's exactly how I feel. Like,
Yeah.
don't look to me for,
Yeah. This is not the end all be all. I'm not saying, like, I'm not saying Midsummer was awful. I'm not saying Skinamarink was awful. I am, but I'm not saying anybody shouldn't like them.
Sure. Okay.
But like this, I say go watch it. If somebody goes and watches it, come back to me saying it was bad. I don't care.
Well, it was great to have you on, man. Thanks for doing
Really,
this.
thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Fun. Hopefully I didn't steer it too far away from usual format.
Oh, no, not at all. I don't have a format. And I like when movies can stir up certain emotions and you can go down different paths and explore why the movie affected you or yeah.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
absolutely. Had a lot of fun. Then I get to go to work. So I mean, it's morning for you, or middle of the day for you, but it's morning for me still. So
How many tattoos do you have today?
just one big one. Starting
Okay.
a back piece, so it's gonna be a whole thing.
Nice.
Nice thing about when a girl comes in to get a back piece, it's like these girls that want whole back pieces, they're like tiny. Their back's
Yeah.
like the size of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I mean,
Right.
it's not like when I first started tattooing. To just go on another rant real quick, I came into work because I had worked another job, came in, and there was an affliction shirt, which are back. They shouldn't be. They are. But there was an affliction shirt sitting on my
They come with every Cybertruck when you buy
exactly.
one.
Yes.
It's in the console.
It was sitting on my booth, and I was like, oh, weird place for this. And so I was like, what's this t-shirt? And the guy who made the appointment for me, he's like, oh, that's what your Saturday appointment's getting. And I was like, the cross? If you've never seen an affliction t-shirt, that's literally what it is.
Sure.
The entire shirt. And I was like, okay, where's he getting it? And he's like, on his back. And I was like, all right, well, how big? He's like, that big. And it was a 2X shirt.
Oh my God.
And this was a huge cross. And I was like, this is going to be the longest day of my life. Like, me and this guy aren't going to get along. I was like, he's already wearing an affliction t-shirt. And I remember like dreading it. Because you never know. I'm an anxious person. So I'm like, this guy's going to be so intimidating. I'm such a little guy. And that Saturday, I was, woke up not sleeping well because of anxiety. And then like I'm on the perfect for a tattoo artist, anxiety. So I'm on the little supply truck and I hear this loud motorcycle pull up and it's just blasting AC/DC.
Oh God.
Like, oh, that's him. I know that's him.
Yeah.
And I see him walk in the shop and he's, a good 2X, big muscular guy. I was like, God dang. I was like, all right. So I go inside and kind of go through my spiel and just made a joke with him like right away. And he just lets out this little tiny laugh. It was like a yick, 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 yick. And I was like, nice. And I was like, all of a sudden I just joked and this guy was like awesome. Like he was so cool and fun to hang out with. But it was just the worst tattoo. I would never get that.
Sure.
No offense to anybody with the giant crosses on their back. The affliction cross.
Yeah, no offense to any affliction wearing people.
Yeah, you're better people than me. That's all I'm saying. You're better than me, just couldn't be me. I have a Terrifier shirt on, I think. Yeah, there it is. Terrifier.
Hell yeah.
The way to go.
All right, Patrick. Well, thanks for doing this, man. Have
Absolutely.
a good tattoo session. We'll do this again soon. This was fun.
Absolutely. Let me know. I'm down anytime, and we're going to play some games together. So.
Hell yes. All right. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Catch you next time. Take care.